On the run, questionable medical ethics, and there will be blood. The Passage, Season 1, Episode 2, Review and Reaction. Hey y'all, it's your Twisted Girl next door here, and today I am doing a review and reaction to The Passage, Season 1, Episode 2. Overall, Episode 2, which was to be predicted, was a little bit of a slower episode from the pilot. We all know that with the pilot, they try to throw everything in there. They try to let you know everything that's going on with the series and really kind of entice the viewer to come back for the season. And Episode 2, usually, I've noticed in most series, it's a little bit slower. And that was the same case with this Episode 2 of The Passage. So it's a little bit slower. We got a little bit more backstory of some of the main characters and a few major happenings that occurred in this episode. Okay, so Amy and Brad were on the run for most of this episode, and what ended up happening was that Clark ended up catching them. Not before we met the awesome Lacey Antoine, who really is totally badass, but she got shot, so we don't necessarily know what happened to Lacey. Also, Brad's ex-wife or estranged wife or whatever that relationship is, Lila, showed up to the house of Lacey and gave some help as well. The show is at its strongest when it focuses on Amy and Brad's relationship and growing bond of this, father and daughter sort of dynamic that they have. And it's very fun to watch them in the car. There's some sweet moments. There's some bittersweet moments. And in this particular part of the episode, we got to know about Brad's backstory when it came to losing his daughter, Eva. We learned the name of the daughter, Eva, and how he connects that with Amy, which we pretty much was told in the pilot episode, but this was reinforced here. And it was a sweet moment between him and Lila, who they seem to be interweaving into the story, which is totally fine. I think she's totally a useful character. She's a nurse or a doctor, and she is helpful. Brad was shot. He was being very stubborn and trying to get himself fixed up. She came and fixed him up, gave him stitches. So that was nice. They had a nice moment. I appreciated learning a little bit more about Brad's backstory. When it came to his daughter, and also when it came to his skills, like how he knew Lacey, which, oh my gosh, Lacey Antoine was awesome. This was a badass woman. You knew that from the moment she came on screen. I was like, yes. And you're kind of, if the show had kept with Amy and Brad being on the run and him kind of meeting friends along the way, it would be cool to see other friends like Lacey come into fruition for the show. But what we got was really cool. Lacey knows Brad, knows the way he is. She used to be a nun, and then she joined the military or the Navy, and that was really an awesome they did a good job of kind of interweaving that without feeling like it was a one-off, because they used Lacey to get to know Brad a bit more for the viewer. But also we got introduced to this really cool character, and Amy, oh my gosh, she got like a kind of grandmother kind of relationship, even if it was for a short time. Now, I am really hoping that Lacey is not dead. Now, she got shot. We saw her go down, but we don't know. I mean, Brad in the episode, he got shot. He passed out for a little bit, and Amy didn't know whether he was dead or alive. So maybe that was the same case with Lacey. Maybe she got shot, she went down, and Lila was left in the house. So maybe Lila did something and helped her out. Hopefully Lacey wasn't killed, because it seems really unfair to get to know this really cool character only for her to be around for one episode. So I hope that got fixed. I hope she's not dead. And if we're being honest with ourselves, Brad and Amy had to get caught because Brad didn't have a plan. He was saying, we'll go to Canada, and if they keep catching us to Canada, we'll go to Amsterdam. Are you planning on changing y'all face? Are you planning on going on Twitter eventually and maybe having a viral tweet, letting everyone know what was going to happen or something? Because it was no way they were going to be able to go on the run for a long period of time. So you kind of knew they were going to get caught, although I am surprised they made them get caught in the second episode. Anthony Carter. We saw a glimpse of him in the pilot episode. This episode went more into his story in the sense of him being at the facility. He got injected with the serum. He seems to be feeling all right, but he's also very observant. Like, he was asking Dr. Lear some serious questions, like, did you think your career would go this way in terms of, using humans as guinea pigs for experiments? And that was, it just shows that this is I feel like he's going to be a poignant character. And I liked seeing a little bit more of him on screen. And I thought it was interesting. We saw that Tim Fanning seems to have taken, I don't know if it's a liking or what, to Carter, but Tim Fanning, aka Patient Zero, is infiltrating his dreams along with Shauna Babcock. And that was a very weird dream because they took his tooth out and he was like, they tried to hand him some blood. That brother was like, no, I'm good. We got a little bit more backstory between Dr. Lear and Tim Fanning. Okay, so they gave us some flashbacks to what happened from the pilot episode, which was another flashback, right? When they went to the caves in South America and Fanning got bit by that on steroids Nosferatu character, who I kind of hope we see it again. I want to see that monster again. That would be, oh my God, that monster was awesome. So we saw a little bit of Fanning before he got turned into what he is now as Patient Zero. And he seems to have been some hotshot neurologist who had book deals and things of that nature. And Dr. Lear, although they were friends, was kind of the opposite in terms of being more of the meek friendship. And so what we learned was that Dr. Lear initially started doing this for his wife, trying to find some type of cure to uncurable diseases because his wife was getting early onset Alzheimer's. So that kind of made you sympathize with Lear. And in a way, you're kind of like, so maybe this was all Fanning's fault. And also, though, we kind of learned that Fanning went on that trip to South America because of Lear, because he felt sorry for Lear. But we also found out that Fanning was the one that got the government involved. So it kind of seems like everything that ended up happening, whatever the government is doing, whatever Project Noah ended up being, sort of Fanning's fault too, but also Lear in a way. I thought it was good to kind of get their backstory because I think they are interesting characters. I think that friendship and the layers of it and maybe how deep it runs will be something they explore. And then the last sort of thing we got, which was so kind of random, although he kind of came sort of in the beginning too, was this thing with Shauna and this character Lawrence Gray. Okay, so Lawrence Gray is one of the janitors at the facility, right? And Shauna ended up basically killing his coworker because he got too close to the jail. The coworker was a jerk anyway, so we felt no sympathy for that. But Lawrence also, they kind of focused on him, so I do believe he's probably going to be a significant character because why focus on this random janitor if he's not going to be a significant character? And he seems to have a certain feeling around these vampires, these characters, or not vampires, excuse me. They're not vampires. Okay, so not much ship stuff except one major one between Brad and Lila. We kind of saw this coming. Brad is still very much in love with Lila, and she's still very much in love with him, although she's with another guy, possibly about to marry him. Okay, but they're very estranged because of the death of their daughter. But they did share a moment about Amy and Eva, their dead daughter, and they kissed. So I don't know if I necessarily root for this couple. They seem kind of doomed, but it was a nice moment. Best line goes to Dr. Lear. We're not qualified to decide what's right or wrong because we don't know the difference anymore. Message. I just have one prediction or one hope that Lacey isn't dead. I hope Lacey Antoine is not dead. She was a very cool character. It seems a ways to introduce her this one episode and then kill her off. Okay, so two main things when it came to the book. That's with Lacey Antoine and also Lawrence Gray. Both Lacey and Lawrence are in the book series. Now, in the book series, Lacey's last name is Antoinette. In the TV show, they named her Lacey Antoine. I think it's the same character because we know in the book series, Lacey Antoinette is a nun. And they made sure to point out in the TV episode tonight that Lacey was a nun at one time. Although, eventually they made her join the military and she's like badass and she's got guns on the wall, which was kind of like very cool. A nun with guns. Awesome. But yeah, I think they're the same character. Now, in the book, she survives. She stays around for like 100 years, and somehow, some way, she was able to stay around for like a very long time because she was special or something too. So I'm hoping that maybe that's the same case with the TV show. Maybe it's not. Maybe they just kind of wanted to give a nod to this important nun character while then killing her off. But one can hope. Lawrence is also in the book series. You know what's so funny? When I saw the TV show tonight, this guy seems so sweet and innocent. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he might have got cooked up in the wrong stuff. Maybe he's a sweet, innocent guy. And that may still be the case in the TV show. Now, in the book series, Lawrence Gray, like a lot of the other janitors in the facility in Project Noah, are like ex-pedophiles. And they are ex-pedophiles who are forced under contract or whatnot to take sexual desire suppressant drugs. I don't think Fox is going to go that route. I don't think they're going to go that route at all. I'd be very surprised if they go that route to give that kind of backstory to the janitors in this facility. So it may be something else. I'm not sure. But Lawrence does play something of a significant role in some aspects of the novel series. So I think for sure we saw the introduction of this character, and they did focus on him a bit much in this episode for a reason, because he's probably going to play a similar role that he plays in the novel. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so what did you think of episode 2 of The Passage tonight? Let me know, comment down below, and also be sure to subscribe so that you are the first to know when I post my videos of all things horror and dark fantasy. Thanks for watching. Let's get creepy together.